Moving on in our featherweight division, Lazar Stojadinovic takes on Movlid Khaybulaev. Movlid Khaybulaev burst onto the scene in PFL in Season 2 as a relative unknown. Kenny, now Lazar Stojadinovic will try and do the same thing here in Season 3.
Absolutely, that is a tall task against the Khabib Nurmagomedov protege. Khaybulaev, a tremendous wrestler, excellent striker as well. Very good athlete, but Lazar is not intimidated by Khaybulaev at all. He believes in his striking. He thinks he's maturing at the right time, and he's ready for the upset.
Randy, he took this fight on what effectively is short notice. He got the call late because of some issues with the original opponent for Movlid Khaybulaev. He said, you know what, doesn't matter. I was ready for this opportunity. We'll try and take advantage of it here tonight.
Stojadinovic thinks he's a dark horse, but he's confident in his striking. He thinks his striking is on a different level. He's pretty focused for a 21-year-old kid. He's ready to go for sure.
And now inside of our PFL Smart Cage is Movlid the Killer Khaybulaev. Randy, you don't get the name Killer when you train exclusively with a bunch of Dagestanis unless you're actually a killer.
Yeah, and that's all we've seen from him. I mean, that flying knee was remarkable, and he's come close to that again in other fights. So, and he's got some great grappling, some pretty slick submissions as well. So, gonna be fun to watch.
We'll take a look at the tail of the tape with these two gentlemen at 145. This presented by the United States Marine Corps. Stojadinovic, 2 years the elder, weighed in a pound heavier, has a 2-inch deficit in the reach on the arms and an advantage in the reach on the legs. Movlid Khaybulaev, Lazar Stojadinovic. Lillian Garcia will start them off.
We continue the action in the featherweight division, and this is presented to you by CarParts.com. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a striker. Standing at 5 feet 7 inches tall, he officially weighs in at 145 3/4 pounds. In 21 professional bouts, he has a record of 14 wins and 7 losses, with 9 victories by stoppage. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and representing Serbia, here is Lazar Bronx Bomber Stojadinovic. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is a wrestler who stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighs in officially 145 1/4 pounds. In 17 professional bouts, he has an undefeated record of 15 wins, 1 draw, 1 no contest, and is the owner of the fastest knockout in PFL history. Fighting out of Dagestan, Russia, here is Movlid the Killer Khaybulaev. Your referee in charge, Gasper Oliver.
Gasper Oliver will oversee the featherweight action. Movlid Khaybulaev, the biggest betting favorite on our main card here on ESPN2.
Are you ready? Fight!
No touch of the gloves. Khaybulaev in the green, Stojadinovic in the black and gray. Khaybulaev tests out a high kick. Kenny, an interesting factor here. These two gentlemen have seen the featherweight standings. They saw the finish from Brendan Loughnane earlier. They know somebody's got 6 points. Will it influence the way that they fight and chase those regular season points as well?
It just might. Again, anytime you see a guy take the lead like that, you want to go out there, and especially given the matchup, see what you can do to try to tie that up. No easy task, but with both these guys, they're both very dangerous. Lazar been striking since a very young age, and Khaybulaev been wrestling since a very young age, but I tell you what, he's no slouch in the striking department either.
Again, here at PFL MMA, it is a true sports format. Regular season, playoffs, and a championship. Nice exchange there from both. Khaybulaev almost snuck one through on the right hand. Movlid appears to be trying to get the timing of Stojadinovic, who, for now, is the aggressor in the early goings of round 1. Inside leg kick from Stojadinovic. Takedown there. Right into half guard. Movlid Khaybulaev looking to show off some of those grappling chops that you were talking about in the pre-fight, Randy Couture.
Absolutely. Trains with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Dedicating this fight to Abdullah McNabb, who has passed away to COVID. That's Khabib's father and the famous trainer from Dagestan.
Yeah, tremendous loss for Dagestan and for the mixed martial arts community there, dedicating his time to the youth and adults alike for martial arts and sambo, and just a great man.
Khaybulaev doing a nice job of slipping that jab, getting right to his waist, and changing directions, turning the corner, and taking Stojadinovic down.
Now Khaybulaev walking Stojadinovic over towards the cage.
Good work by Lazar getting the full guard back, though, after Movlid Khaybulaev landed in half guard. He's been active from the bottom here now, seeing if he can work a submission, creating angles. Movlid passes one leg again. Lazar's got the underhook.
Lazar considers himself a striker, but he is a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, who said he was not afraid of Khaybulaev's ground game. Let's see if he can get back to his feet here. He tries to go underneath for a half guard sweep.
Kenny, sometimes you can create the necessary momentum by kind of rocking this back and forth when you got that underhook. Is that what he's trying to do?
Absolutely. He can use the momentum as Khaybulaev comes into him to get underneath, to get his hips underneath his center of mass, see if he can try to scoop him up and elevate him. Wasn't able to do that, though. You see those hips of Khaybulaev. He's ready.
Yeah, Khaybulaev dropped that left hip and closed that door right there. No way to get him to move after that. But he's got him moving, he's got him working and thinking about keeping position rather than punching him in the head from that top position.
Two-on-one control here for Stojadinovic on the bottom. Movlid uses the opportunity to step over with the knee. Trap that arm.
Yeah, exactly. Lazar now using that knee shield to try to create some space. Now getting that underhook. Excellent hips there from Khaybulaev.
Nice work from Stojadinovic on the bottom to keep that underhook and protect himself very, very well.
Good left hand sneaks through from Movlid Khaybulaev as he tries to improve his position, continuing to effort the pass.
Oh, big shots.
Left there. Oh, Stojadinovic now in some trouble as his right arm is trapped underneath the leg of Movlid Khaybulaev. He's not able to defend himself. His head's just hanging out there.
He's getting close to a TKO here, guys. He's hurting Stojadinovic big time.
Nasty precision ground and pound here from Movlid Khaybulaev. And they're short strikes, Randy, but they're powerful, and there's another big one.
Yeah, short, choppy punches. He's done a great job of maintaining position, using his hips well to float over the top of Stojadinovic.
Now, here comes the Kimura attempt.
That's right, he's trying to finish it here. Only 10 seconds left in the round.
Good defense by Stojadinovic to stay alive for round two.
Right over here. Back up.
Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Kenny Florian. Take a look at the FPR scores from round one. Dominant from Movlid Khaybulaev. Lazar Stojadinovic will look to try and make something happen immediately. Khaybulaev goes back to the takedown, lands once again in half guard.
Yeah, he has sensed that weakness. He knows what the easiest path to victory is now. And he could be setting up an arm triangle there, or a Von Flue choke. Lazar starting to let go of it. That's a smart move.
Randy, the interesting thing here is Movlid still immediately going for the takedown. We've seen him be formidable on his feet, got finishes there. He knows he needs a finish, but I think because of what happened in round number 1, he believes he can get a finish and 5 bonus points even on the ground.
I agree with you 100%. I think he felt a little power. He saw that this guy's a decent striker. He can hang with me here, but I've definitely dominated this fight by taking him down and riding on top of him.
In our PFL regular season, fighters compete for points, 3 points for a win, bonus points for finishes in earlier rounds. That means 5 points potentially on the line for Lazar Stojadinovic and Movlid Khaybulaev. Brendan Loughnane earlier tonight on ESPN Plus secured himself 6 points with a first-round stoppage.
Khaybulaev has done some nasty work from this half guard, man. That left hand and control has been really dominant so far.
And you can see Stojadinovic is just staying 2-on-1 on Movlid's left hand. He does not want the same thing to happen in round 2 that did in round number 1, where he got his arms trapped and got teed off on from the bottom.
Nice job of shelving those legs by Khaybulaev. Khaybulaev. There we go.
There it is.
Twisted my tongue right up on that one.
All right, here's Khaybulaev. You look at his head position right here, making sure he's driving it right underneath the head of Lazar. And now, as he gets that head position, you're gonna notice he's gonna start to fire away with that free hand. There it is, right there. Now forces Stojadinovic to turtle up. Now has that cross wrist. Now looking to try to get hooks. Excellent job there by Khaybulaev.
I believe we call that a Dagestani handcuff, especially when it's a Dagestani who's doing it.
Yes.
Deep water here for Stojadinovic to be swimming in.
Khaybulaev does a great job. Khaybulaev, gonna slow down here. Khaybulaev does a great job of staying in position, no matter where they end up and how Stojadinovic tries to get out of there. He just floats over the top of him and just keeps pinning him down. Just start calling him Movlid.
Coming up later, our main event, Anthony Pettis, Clay Collard, 2 seasoned strikers facing off. Do not blink. Coming up on ESPN2. Right now, Movlid Khaybulaev in the green trunks, grinding out a dominant performance over Lazar Stojadinovic, who was appreciative of this PFL opportunity when he got the phone call. Probably doesn't seem like it's so much fun at the moment.
No, he's definitely fighting back. He's trying to go for that reverse arm lock there, but he has been in some very tough spots. Stojadinovic showing how tough he is, but he's been pretty much dominated by the Dagestani.
Movlid going to the classic body head. Now he uncorks the left hand to go along with it. Lazar doing a good job of staying busy on the bottom, trying to move, trying to improve. Can't just keep the guard closed. Can he keep attempting to attack that straight arm bar?
It's going to be really difficult to pull off here against Khaybulaev. I think his best chance is trying to wall walk now at this point, trying to cage walk, get his shoulders up against the cage, and try to get back to his feet.
Stoyanovic's got to open his guard. He's got to put those feet on his hips and try and create some space and allow himself to come up there and get some elevation.
Movlid Khaybulaev closing in on 100 strikes landed in this fight as another left hand sneaks past the guard of Lazar Stojadinovic. 20 seconds remain in round number 2.
He's trying to attack that guillotine, guys. And
nice left.
Wasn't able to pull it off, but he's trying. Just no success so far.
We will see round 3 between these featherweights when we come back. Welcome back to Atlantic City. I am Sean O'Connell, joined by Randy Couture and Kenny Florian. That man is Movlid Khaybulaev. The Rich Energy Fighter Performance rating tells us that it's been a dominant first 2 rounds for the Dagestani in green trunks. Lazar Stojadinovic, PFL debut. He's going to have to make something happen if he wants to come out of this one with any points. In round 2, Randy, we saw Movlid dive on that takedown attempt immediately.
Yeah.
Maybe now deciding, all right, I'll go for the finish on the feet.
I mean, you know, he seems to be able to take him down at will, so, and he's choosing to stand around here and see what he can ferret out in the standing position. It's going to be interesting to see if he pulls something off.
Still 4 points on the line for either of these gentlemen. If they can get a finish, that would put them at second place in the current featherweight standings in our regular season here. First event of the 2021 Season 3. Right hand sneaks over the top for Movlid Khaybulaev.
That's been the story for Khaybulaev. He's landed it from the outside. He's also done a great job of using it as a clinch mechanism. Lands that right hand, gets right to the legs of Stojadinovic.
Khaybulaev is backing up. He's drawing him in and then timing it to throw that right hand or shoot that takedown.
If you're in Lazar Stojadinovic's corner, Kenny Florian, what's your advice?
I think he should be using that left roundhouse kick upstairs against Khaybulaev. It's a good way of keeping Khaybulaev honest, but also is going to create that distance. It's a good long-range weapon when you're a southpaw and you're going against a righty.
Khaybulaev is able to evade Stojadinovic as he tries to close the distance. Back to the center of the cage. Another takedown attempt here from Khaybulaev, successful. And he lands in the guard, steps into the half guard at least of Lazar Stojadinovic.
I mean, you see so many similarities to Khabib Nurmagomedov. The way that he sets up his takedowns, his control, very impressive.
Level change, keeps his feet moving, drives all the way through his opponent, follows it through.
Tough sledding to get up for Lazar Stojadinovic. Round 3, halfway gone. The window for him to earn points closing as Movlid Khaybulaev pressures, smothers, and continues to chip away.
Watch that left arm for me. Pummel around his head. Give me an underhook.
Khaybulaev again just kind of pressing Stojadinovic up against the cage, not really giving him any space to get out of there. And once again, going to work with that left hand.
There you go. Now we're all the way on our hip. We're working up.
Oh, I felt that one. Those are big shots, man. And you see the control of that right leg of Stojadinovic. That's what he needs, that right leg, if he wants to get up. And Khaybulaev doing a great job of keeping control, of hooking that leg, not allowing him to go anywhere. And every time he postures up, that big left-hand bomb is coming.
You can see Khaybulaev climbing a little bit north, trying to see if he can pin down that defensive right arm of Lazar Stojadinovic, as we saw him do in round number 1. Lazar mindful of it so far here in the 3rd frame.
Khaybulaev doing a great job of keeping his hips perpendicular to Stojadinovic's hips, and that makes it really hard to get out from underneath him.
60 seconds remain here in round number 3, the 3rd of a possible 3. Movlid Khaybulaev, 124 total strikes landed.
Most of them are right here in this position.
Yeah, we've seen other guys here tonight in the same position, but they don't stay as active as Khaybulaev has been. Just fires away. That left hand like a piston.
Yeah, a lot of wrestlers on top tonight have had a hard time generating offense. Movlid has landed several of these punches from the top, and now Lazar Stojadinovic goes back 2-on-1. And they're talking to each other. I believe there is a language barrier, but I'd like to know what was said between them.
I heard he said something about "this is wrestling." I think that's what he said.
It's wrestling, all right. And exhausting, frustrating. Finish, he says. And Movlid Khaybulaev finishes with a left-hand flurry.
Man.
3 rounds in the books. A hug between these two competitors. The killer pounds one out. We'll get an official decision next.
Takedown, move into half guard, pound away with your free hand. That's basically what Khaybulaev was able to do. You see him grab the wrist of Stojadinovic, taking away one of his defensive frames, then goes upstairs, posturing up, controlling those hips so well, chipping away, then pounding away.
Take a look at the damage meter presented by carparts.com. And Randy Couture, that big brother mentality, take you down, hold your wrist, and beat you up. That is a demoralizing thing for a fighter to have to experience.
Absolutely, and there's 105 of those hit you in the heads. And that is not fun. That's one you're gonna remember.
There's no mom to save you either.
Our fighter performance rating, an objective score based not only on actions inside the cage, but the impact of those actions, brought to you by Rich Energy. And as you can see, these scores go from 1 to 100. Movlid Khaybulaev, pretty dominant in that performance. And one more look at how this one played out. Cageonomics stats bundle presented by Geico. Over 100 of those landed, Randy, as we saw on the damage meter on the face, and it was 137 total to go with those 4 takedowns. Lillian Garcia has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored the bout 30-27. For your winner by unanimous decision and earning 3 points in the featherweight division, Movlid Khaybulaev.
Movlid Khaybulaev, winner by unanimous decision. No surprise there. Earns 3 points in our regular season featherweight standings.